Right now the plant's doing good. It's producing about 12 to 1,300 gallons a minute. We're shipping out right around 8 to 1,000. Towers are still gaining. It's probably going to take all weekend to get everything completely full. What's hurting us the most is daytime run, consumption, everybody's using. Our biggest build-up time on the towers is overnight when everybody's asleep and the businesses are closed. Filters are holding together right now real good. We do have the new filters in. We will put them online once I get the repairs at this plant done. Clear wells have to be, the clarifiers have to be repaired and working properly so we don't destroy these new filters and cost the citizens more money than they've already been costed. That's my main goal, is to get everything working 100% before we put these new filters online so they'll get a longer longevity out of them and to get this plant working operational wise that it was supposed to be. Yes, I've been in very close contact with TCQ. Actually, they're actually sending trucks out for me now to help with my lift station pumpage until I get my lift station pumps back in. That is scheduled to be in this afternoon about 12, somewhere around in that area. Once we get that in and we get the water getting out of here that we need to get off the plant, we can do other maintenance issues and items that for TCQ that's required. Other than that, we're just kind of in limbo right this minute, waiting for other processes to happen before we can go further with any maintenance and repairs that we need to do. We've got 100% backing by TCQ on every decision that we make out here, trying to keep this place working right. Like I said, I don't want to destroy new filters on just shoving them in here and getting them going. The approval letter is sitting with them. They do have it, and they do know our situation, but we have to do these repairs before I can put these filters online. So we're going to keep them boxed and sitting here in the shop until we get everything else back up to par where it's supposed to be. When on the skids, we've got two sets of filters. We've got skid 100 and 200, so there's 54 on each skid. What we're replacing is skid 100 because it's our lowest production. It has the most damaged and non-flowing filters as far as maintenance-wise. When you maintain these filters here, you have to plug them when they get leaks. And the more holes you plug, the less it's going to produce. 100 is going to be the first one out, and that should put us back almost 100% capacity coming out of the plant. This plant usually puts about 2.2 to 2.5 a day, which is 2.5 million gallons a day. The town, once we get everything full in every tower, we can start actually limiting what we can do on each skid to kind of prolong the life of the filters. We're also going into new chemical checking to find us a better flocculation chemical or additive to put in the water to kind of pull the dirt more out of it so we don't have this problem ever again. TCQ is working with me on that also. We've been doing jar tests all day yesterday. We're doing other testing today, and we'll be testing again Monday with them to try to help us optimize the best we can on this plant. We've got our electrician coming out. He's helping us repair the monitors and the clarifier parts that need to be repaired to get everything working like it's supposed to. That's actually hard to say, defining what we find more wrong and the availability of parts to repair it or replace it. If we end up having to replace something with a different product, we have to do a lot of engineering parts to get everything built into the clarifiers. As of right now, no, everybody should stay in water. There might, I'm not guaranteeing that, but there might be sometimes of low pressure, but we're not expecting it. But just if everybody kind of conserves as much as they can, it'll help us with the building of the towers. Your boil water notices, there's a lot of contingencies that go with that. Low pressure, high NTUs, low chlorine level. There's just so many different tests with water. Texas is probably one of the strongest water testing states in the nation. We're under the boil water notice for two reasons. One, there's a test these filters have to go through, and it failed one, so that automatically sends out a boil water notice. And then with us losing pressure throughout town, that's a second boil water notice. So that's what we're sitting at right there. First stage right now that we have lined up is a lift station We've got to get our lift station up and operational so I can get the water that we have here out of here, which is backwash water, clarifier water. We need a way to get that out of here, and that's backing up the whole plant right now. That's process number one. Process number two is going to be the clarifiers. That's going to be the biggest one, is them clarifiers. They have to be working, and the chemical dosage that goes in there has to be right. So, and that's our biggest concern right now, because the clarifiers that we have, they're not up to par, and working with TCQ, they're helping us trying to figure a way to get these working the way they should be. And then the third process is going to be, once we get those two done, we'll run what we have right now, just check our numbers to make sure everything's doing what we want it to, kind of fine tune it. And at that point, then we'll put the new filters in, get everything set up, and then we should be golden. Main thing on the plan, I'm gonna give you some ideas of what we got going on as far as dealing with wise. We've had a lot of people out here helping us, trying to solve some of the issues that we do have. First one we're going to be dealing with is going to be the lift station. We have to get this thing emptied and get a pump in here so we can start moving water out. Show you the lift station and the capacity that this thing holds water. It's 25 feet deep. And like I said, with the help of TCQ and some other local officials, they've been helping us trying to get it pumped down. We do have 2 trucks coming in, state-owned, that are going to help us pump this out. See if you can see the water level in the lift station, and that's 25 feet deep. That water should be all the way to the bottom when we have the pumps in and operating properly. And the next thing we'll be working on, once we get that system back up, is going to be the 2 clarifiers over here. This is the main important part once the lift station's done, to ensure that the filters are going to be better taken care of, because the turbidity coming off the clarifiers is not going to be near as high. The lighter you hit the filters with, the better off they're going to run, and the more longevity you'll get out of them. Like I said, we're also working with TCQ on this project as far as additive dosage and processing the flow, control valves, and everything like that to feed both filter beds to where it'll work right. And the clarifiers that we're talking about are these 2 clarifiers right here. And the one that caused the problems, that caused our water outage, was this clarifier right here over the mixer that's in the center of it. Right now we're running on that clarifier, and like I said, the dosages and stuff and the way the clarifiers are settling, they're not operating to 100% capacity as far as what they're supposed to be doing, and that's what we're working on right now, minus the lift station. Then once we get done with those, I'll be able to get the filters in line and get everything set up to where once we start producing, we should be able to produce better, faster, and for a longer period of time. So once we get that all done, then we can start working on the other stuff that, you know, we can get repaired to make everything work right, to keep this plant going in a proper operational speed. Other than that, I said, the only thing we can ask for is just for everybody to kind of conserve water as much as possible until we can get all these towers full. Like I said, if you keep putting a heavy load on us, it just makes it harder on the plant. We are holding good water in the clear well, and we're continuing pushing water in the clear well. So as long as we can keep that going, we'll be keeping the city in water. When we prefer to skids 100 and skids 200, this is skid 100 right here. Okay, there's 54 filters on each skid. These will be the filters that we are replacing once I get everything up to par as far as the clarifiers and everything like that. Skid 200 is this one over here. This is our main producing skid right now. This one here puts out about 1,200 gallons a minute. Skid 100 is putting out about 250. So you can see the big difference between the two. This is the one we want to make sure we keep up and going, you know, through this here until we get everything back up. So this one here we're watching real close. I'll give you a tour inside where we monitor how we know what towers have what, and the usage part of everything. When we go to run skids, pay attention to what our skids are putting out. We can go through here. This is skid 100, what it's putting out. We can go over to 200 and see what it's putting out. See, right now it's back flushing. So these things have to back flush every hour. That's something that we cannot control. That's why our water consumption is so important, because it takes water to wash them. And if they start depleting it in town and start running my clear well empty, we can't backwash it. That's when I have to shut water off. So that's why it's so important that everybody conserves as much as they can in order for us to keep the water to keep shipping to town and also back flushing the filters. For us to monitor the actual towers and what we're putting out is this system right here. This is our tower levels here. As you can see, the blue indicates water in the tower. Now you don't see blue here, but that's because mesquite feeds all these towers. All these towers are fed from one to the other, to the other, to the other. So when you use a lot of water on this end, you're going to pull on mesquite tower real hard. And like I said, we are still pushing water into town, like I said, but your usage is coming up. So, like I said, our filter feed basin is where water comes off the clarifiers into here. This is how we pump it into the plant. And this is what we're pumping into town here. Like I said, our clear well's sitting at 8 feet. We have one pump on, and we're doing between the two about a little over 800 gallons a minute. Like I said, we're trying to make sure we don't run this real low, because you get this to a certain level, we have to shut off the town, because we have to keep this at a certain level in order to keep everything producing right and backflowing and stuff like that. But everything's pretty much automated as far as me keeping up. We even have a diagram for lift stations. So we keep up with pretty good around here. Like I said, that's how we monitor what these towers are doing. If everybody, like I said, if everybody can just keep their consumption to a minimum, it will help us a whole lot, and it'll be very appreciated. Other than that, like I said, if any other problems occur, I'll definitely let everybody know as fast as I can, going through the channels that Mr. England and the city has put together to inform everyone. Any questions toward anything, just give me a holler. Everybody's got my number. It's 275-0051, and I'll try to answer your questions as best and quickly as possible.